Welcome to this first lecture of week 9. During this week, we will analyze the provision of goods and services in relation to key sources of government revenue. An emphasis will be placed on the provision of goods and services by the state, as well as scarcity and market. In most modern economies, be they free market systems or planned economies, decisions to provide goods and services are taken by both the private and public sector. This means that the state has a role to play in the economic well-being of a country. In fact, the economic role of the state has become part of our daily lives. Government spends large sums of money to provide us with a plethora of services: health, education, technology, roads, railways, defense, and security. These services are not ordinarily provided by the private sector, although the state may decide to take on private sector partners to expedite the delivery of these services. It is significant to note that the untenable economic condition during the apartheid era led to the development of a dual economic system, popularly referred to as the first economy and the second economy. It is only through state action that the two economies can be integrated and the playing field leveled for a unified economic system geared towards fair allocation and distribution of resources throughout the country. The fact that South Africa is a developmental state means precisely that government has to manage the economy so as to offer a visionary economic transition that benefits all South Africans, particularly the marginalized societies who need expanded government services that were denied to them during the apartheid rule. When comparing scarcity versus market failure, one can stress on the one hand that the scarcity factor underlines the economic problem that resources are scarce, yet the people's wants are unlimited. South Africa has not been spared this problem, as especially under the system of apartheid, already scarce resources were centralized and rationed to only few South African based on ethnic factors. Democracy in 1994 opened up the economic system to competition and increased demand on these resources. The current challenge with which the South African government is faced with is to meet the demands of the majority of the people in the face of little increase in available resources to do so. On the other hand, private producers do not invest in the production of goods and services that are unprofitable, and thus many essential goods and services desired by the public will never be produced privately. This situation, in the language of public finance and public sector economic, is referred to as a market failure. Government attempt to resolve market failure by taking on the production and or provision of those essential goods and services desired by the public but not produced by the private sector. And this is the example one can cite looking at the provision of water and sanitation.